jeez. Can you believe it's been 3 months since I've done this? I need to recover after the last go round. You know, you have to recover, forgive, forget, and then spend another couple $100 at GameStop and see if they actually deliver on their promise. So ladies and gentlemen, today I've got another fat stack of games here beside me. We're going to take a look at what Daddy GameStop had to bring to the forefront. A lot of classic games in here, and hey, we'll see what happens. I've recovered successfully, and as always, when I put these orders in, I give it a lot of time. I let these packages just bake on my floor until I completely forget, what was it I ordered again? That's so that it's as much of a surprise to you as it is me. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not delay any further. If you're interested in watching a man waste his money some more, consider subscribing. Okay, we got one package here. I don't like how rattly that is. Rattles are usually a very scary sign of what's within the GameStop package. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start ripping this bad boy open. Rattling usually means like thin case, and thin case is like a GameStop placeholder case. And what do we have here? But it is not a placeholder case. This is a Need for Speed game. Okay, Need for Speed Underground 2. You see $23. Pretty pricey. Hold on. Does this have a manual? Oh, wow, I'm losing my touch. I thought there was a manual in there. Okay. No, I'm not going to get fooled this time. I need to get angry immediately. I got to get angry immediately because this is what I always do. Your boy's like, okay, not bad. You know, GameStop, okay. At least I got the case this time. Let's put that to the side. Not a L yet. No, I deserve better. I spend a lot of money at this damn store. That's $23 without the manual. Now, I will admit there is no man juice or grime on this case. It's in pretty good condition. So if I could just find the manual separately, let's see what the disc is cooking like here. But, we're looking good. So yeah, I just need that manual. So not the worst situation to be put in by GameStop, but of course we expect better from the best. All right, let's see here. Now this one, we got a lot of good stuff in here, no doubt. I always feel good about these kind of meaty packages. Don't say a word. All right, let's see what we got here on the inside. First game. No. What is it? Immortals Phoenix Rising, brand new $60. Could it be? No, it's Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles for the Wii. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to, you know, bone up a little bit on my Resident Evil knowledge and lore because of the recent Requiem announcement. I'm starting to learn about spin-offs I didn't know existed. This is one of them. I'm also learning about Resident Evil Outbreak. Our editor Josh told me about it. He's like, yeah, they're kind of connecting the story of that to 9. I was like, what are you on about, mate? What's this Resident Evil Outbreak? And I look it up. It's this PS2 series. I still haven't played Code Veronica. So I saw this and I went, hey, why not? As you can see, it's actually $35. It's not Immortals Phoenix Rising brand new for $60. God bless if you spent that much on that game. Let's see the quality of the disc. Yeah, they've gotten, I gotta say, I'll hand it out to them. They've gotten a lot better with their disc quality. I mean, they're all like probably obviously resurfaced, but that's a stinker. That sucks. All right, well, let's hope there's more good stuff in this box. We've got Call of Duty World at War Final Fronts. Yeah, I bought this strictly because it was like the right price, like $7, but I was like, this exists? I didn't know there was a PS2 version of World at War. This is like one of, if not my favorite ever Call of Duty. I just think of like using the Browning in multiplayer and you just literally dismember your enemies. I thought that was the craziest thing ever, but the maps, the campaign, I remember this is like one of the first games I really got into achievement hunting with. Of course, the zombies mode and where it was born. Like, World at War is so important, but I saw this PS2 version and I went, no way. Like, they actually have this. Looks like a fake game. Like the way Final Fronts is just pasted on here. Of course, it's complete in box. Of course. Out of all games to come complete in box, it's Call of Duty Final Fronts. And the disc, of course it looks great. Why wouldn't it? I bet this manual is illustrated too. I bet Activision went again. No, they didn't. I had too much faith in them. That's crazy. That's like a really nice copy too. I just got to peel that sticker off and that's looking pretty fresh. Wow. I did not predict that my only win so far would be Call of Duty, right? But someone out there is taking good care of their Call of Duty copies. All right. Last game in this package goes to another placeholder case. This is for Devil May Cry. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you'd think Devil May Cry, someone goes to GameStop to trade these in. You'd think someone would come complete in box with Devil May Cry. Like, right? Like, am I crazy for saying that? But some dude out there has got this in perfect condition. It's like, yes, Call of Duty World at War. With its manual, in fact, I will be trading this in. Versus someone just bringing the disc of Devil May Cry. Why? Oh, it's the greatest hits, too. I just realized. Oh, no. No. This is another series I have on my backlog that, disc in great condition again, that I've been wanting to chip away at. I know, oh my God, I love that they got the hint line on the disc. That's hilarious. But this is a series that I played 4, I played 5, but I never played the original 3. And I know there's a Devil May Cry in those 3. I think it's 2 that is not really beloved by its fans. But I thought to myself, like, this is a series I really need to start catching up on. So I went for the complete box copy, swing and a miss, as you can tell. And you can also start to see the variety of GameStop cases here. Look at that. Look at these 2 different placeholders they got for me. So they just throw shit in a box and just send it your way, dude. I swear, it's crazy. We have one more of what I usually think is like the safety net here. This feels much fresher than the other packages that came in the mail. Let's go ahead and tear it open and hope for the best. Let's hope something good is in here. All right, come on now. Come on, GameStop. Just like one huge win. Like, I still think back to Final Fantasy III on the DS. I'll always remember that. It was like a $20 game, but still, I was like, what? With the manual and everything. Okay, what do we have here but Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters. All right, we're looking pretty good here. We got the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, and it does have the manual. Wow. And the Six Flag promotion. Damn, dude. And the manual's illustrated? I mean, I feel is the right thing to do. I've spared myself from this movie. I've heard really bad things. If someone wants to fill me in on all the peak fiction I'm missing, you go ahead and let me know. But yeah, the case is a little funky. I don't trust this case, like the way it's see-through. Hang on, let me grab an actual 360 case and crack it open. I gotta show you what I mean. Let's grab another crappy MCU game or something like that. Am I bugging? Like, yeah, this is definitely... Yeah, my gamer eyes don't deceive me. The way the center press is, the see-through, that little block up top here. Yeah, fake case. How about that? Not the real thing. Thought you could slip it by me. Ha! But anyway, hey, complete in box copy of Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters. Like I said, skip the movie. I don't know if this game is good or bad. This is during an era, though, where anything could get a game because it was cheap enough to make those games. So you have, like, the Thor games, you have the Iron Man games, Spider-Man games, and so on. So, all right, not awful, all things considered. Hold on, that felt a little heavy. Oh, that's why I felt heavy. Okay. Hey, how about that? The Getaway. Now, this GTA style game, exclusive on PlayStation. Really wanted this one complete in box. This looks alright, but man, I remember my brother buying this game. And I remember watching him play in awe. This game was like tremendous for its time. I couldn't tell you anything except I think there was like a bank robbery mission early in the game. I just remember watching him play. Like there's that one frame in my memory, and that's all I've got. And so when I saw it, I went, oh, this game. Also, G-Man Lives did a really good video on it. So I remember checking that out and then seeing this, and it was top of mind. And also the image on the disc is a little bit to the side. Do you see that? Like if you look closely, you can see the rim of the disc up here, but then as we get up here, kind of goes a little bit wide. A little bit of, is that disc rod? Interesting. Or is that just paint? Hard to tell, but yeah, when I threw that on the ground, I was like, wait, that felt a little heavy. There was something else in there, and it was just the weight of my disappointment. All right, here we go. The final crate. I'm losing faith progressively as we go deeper once more, and then I will take another 3-month hiatus, and then hopefully GameStop will have their act together, or they'll go out of business, one or the other. And from there, we'll have to... Where would we do unboxings if GameStop isn't around? Like, there's kind of a necessary evil, is there not? Like, what would entertain you all if it wasn't GameStop? Part of the hilarious part of GameStop is, like, I guess I look at it as sort of, this is the company that prides themselves on selling games, and they sell them in the worst imaginable form, as you've seen many times, like whether it be just no complete box or a lot of the grossness and the gunk is gone. But all right, let's get the party started here. We got a stack of games to go through here. First one is Portal 2 in a really crummy fake PS3 case. I'd have to replace this, but at least the cover art the cover art is legit, nice and laminated. And yeah, damn, no manual. I remember I was like, yeah, it's so strange that there's just a couple of Valve games that are just floating out there on consoles. Like there's Portal 2, there's obviously Left 4 Dead 1 or 2, there is the Orange Box collection, Half-Life is there. I just thought about it, I was like, this is such a strange thing because when Xbox went multi-platform, it was such an up in arms thing, but then you start to look at Valve and you go, huh, they did this so early and most people didn't really care. Portal is a series that I remember going through one single time, and I was really young. I was in high school. I don't think I really, outside of Left 4 Dead, had an opportunity to truly appreciate Valve games on their level of complexity like I could have. So they are on like the replay list at some point, kind of low priority. Like I definitely pick up a KOTOR or a New Vegas first, but still pretty cool. All right, next up here, God, man, Burnout 3 Takedown. PS2. And it's great as shit. That's what we're gonna start calling it. I'm done censoring myself here. This friggin' thing. Son of a bitch. All right, well, oh, that's a little, yeah, hold on. Yeah, what's that there, GameStop? What's that there? Not that beautiful man here in the reflection. How about that? This right here. What is that? That's man juice. That's what it is. I'm shaking it. Burnout 3 Takedown. Put this one in the order because, this was actually the last racing game that before Forza Horizon, where I bought it for my job. This is the last racing game I could say I like willingly purchased in my childhood. It was like, oh boy, a racing game, I can't wait. Some people always ask why I have this kind of love-hate relationship with racing games. Burnout spoke to me because the car crashes were sick and in slow motion, and I had so much fun with them. It was just cinematic racing. I don't know. It was cool. Need for Speed was also just a really good time. It had great career modes. But I got away from it because as games evolved, like there would be open world games with racing in it, and the racing felt good enough. It maybe wasn't like Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo where it's like, yeah, this feels exactly like I'm driving my car, but I have car keys in the hallway next to this room and I can just grab it and get in my car and go. So like for me, it's like, I don't speed. I'm like a grandma driver. So for me, I get that desire and that risk taking out on the digital track. But as time has gone on, like I said, I kind of value games like a GTA that say you can race or you can get out of your car and like rob a bank. I'm like, yeah, cool. That's what I'm here for. So just pure racing games don't really vibe with me, and I'm like purely nostalgic with that stuff. Like I'll play the Cruisin' series, like Cruisin' Blast, Cruisin' USA, etc. Those games are great, but Burnout, it's like, yeah, good memories, but not with this copy. That's not happening. No, no, no. All right, what do we got next here? But oh my God, dude, another one of these cases. Holy shit. Hitman Absolution, Xbox 360. Yeah, of course it's not complete in box. Of course it's not. Disc looking good again. At least that's a trend here. No GameStop bullet holes or anything like that. But Hitman Absolution, I remember playing this game in high school and I loved it. I think that's supposed to be a bad take though. I remember that specifically because when I was in high school and we were running the Ham Radio podcast on my Mr. Matty Plays channel, we had Many a True Nerd on. And in that episode, we talked about Hitman Absolution. I think Many a True Nerd is like a big Hitman fan. And when I told him I loved Hitman Absolution, this dude got like aggressive about his opinion. Like he was like, what are you, how dare you? And he was messing around, of course, but I'm just like, I remember him just being very pressed that I liked Hitman Absolution. I guess that's like someone coming to me and being like, Maddie, I like Fallout Tactics and Fallout 76 more than Fallout 3 and New Vegas and 4. I'd be like, that's your opinion. Okay. So I think that's where he was coming from, but that's why this game is like tattooed on my brain because I just remember having so much fun with it. It was like really my first true Hitman game. And that might have been the wrong take, but since then I've seen the light. I've played a lot of Hitman games from the modern era from IO Interactive. Unfortunately though, I have not played things like Blood Money, so I need to right that wrong eventually. We still have, it feels like 3 games in this box. Let's hope one of them is not a pre-owned case. Jesus Christ, dude. This has to be a fucking joke. This has to be a joke. Chronicles of Riddick. $20. And they give you this piece of garbage, dude. And why is it in reverse? Like, that just bothers me, man. Now you're just putting salt in the wound. Like, Yeah, a little bit of man juice here in the rim.
I'm jaking it.
Yeah, I picked this one up. I'm like losing my will, man. I'm losing my will to keep going. I picked this one up because I remember after Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out and people were like, yo, Machine Games actually did great fist fighting in a game before. It's called Chronicles of Riddick. I was like, okay, cool. I'll check that out. Like, oh yeah, it's also a great tie-in game. I was like, cool, I'll check that out. I don't know jack diddly do about Vin Diesel, but sure, why not? And yeah, I just wanted to cop this one. And am I thinking of the right game? Was it a 360 game? It was. Is there another Chronicles of Riddick game that was on the original Xbox I might be mixing it up with? But nonetheless, I went in this direction because I know there was a Vin Diesel game that was of the Machine Games ilk, like great fist fighting. And I was like, cool, I'd like fist fighting in games. I'll check this out. Not this copy. No. Please, just one not pre-owned. Dude, come on. Wanted Weapons of Fate. I mean, it'd be great if the manual's here, then it makes sense, but like, God, dude. Yeah, the disc is great. Cue the sad music, I don't know. So, Wanted Weapons of Fate. I remember my buddy Kev made a video on this game. A lot of people make fun of this game. I kind of dig the whole curving the bullet thing. I thought this was like a fun little tie-in game. I played it when I was in middle school, I want to say. But I have great memories of this. And I always remember like the cover of the game of the guy with the guns crossed diving. Thought that was cool. Would have loved to have that complete in box. Man, that would have made me really happy. This might be one of our worst hauls ever. I've never been on a streak quite like this. I'm looking right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row that are of a placeholder case or, like Portal 2, where it's like, here's the cover art and the disc, but we don't have like a real case for it, however the hell that happens. And the only complete box game I got before that was Green Lantern. And before that, it was Call of Duty. Like, does that not sound like a sick and twisted joke? Does that not sound like they looked at my name on the box and went, oh, this son of a bitch. We're going to get him good this time. Come on. Tell me I'm wrong. There's 2 more in here. Okay, please. Oh my God. It's actually, it's not the real case, but it's the cover art. Okay, Battlefield Bad Company on the Xbox 360. Does it have a manual? It does not. Yeah, man, these were the days, though. I got real fond memories of Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2, especially Bad Company 2. Bad Company 2 came at the perfect time. I was getting kind of tired of, I know this is Bad Company 1. I actually don't know much about this game, but Bad Company 2 came at a perfect time because I played a lot of Call of Duty in high school. And this is around, I think, 10th grade, 11th grade. I was starting to get tired of it. And then I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 and was just wowed by like the environmental destruction, the amount of players on the map, and how the gunplay still felt really good, which is what Call of Duty was known for. So it was doing what Call of Duty did, but so much more. And it had like a campaign I really liked. And so Battlefield Bad Company 2 is like one of the most important games I played at that time because that's what broke me out of the Call of Duty cycle. And from there, I went on to go focus on single player games. And then from there, I made my Mr. Matty Plays channel, and my sworn thing when I opened that channel was like, I'm going to focus on single player games. So it's just funny because it all kind of started with this series that I don't think anyone would really associate me with at all. But yeah, I love the Bad Company series. What I love more is a complete box copy. And GameStop doesn't have it. Instead, they've got Fear, First Encounter Assault. What is it? Recon. Yeah, my buddy Locke recommended this one. He sent me a bunch of videos of him playing it. This is like, what is? Hold on, let me look at the bottom of like a disc that seemed normal to me. Check my eyes here. Yeah, is it just a missing ribbon? Yeah, I think it's just a missing ribbon. Like here, you normally have like that kind of Xbox reflection. That's not here. I don't know if that's good or bad, actually. I don't know if like that's going to be a problem with the game. But yeah, Fear, I actually only played Fear 3, which I know this is another one where I just kind of blindly picked up a series and went like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and try this bad boy out. And I played it. Actually, there's a Let's Play video series on my Mr. Matty channel. It's like how we started Mr. Matty Plays. My friend Noah and I played through that game on camera, and it was like a really good time. But apparently that's like the odd man out Fear. The first 2 were made by Monolith, who has recently been shut down. And so I wanted to learn more about their history. But as I've said multiple times in this video, not with this copy. Nope. So to recap, just watch this. I'm not even going to say a word. Just watch this. This is already a joke, by the way. Forgot about you, piece of crap. Is this an L or a W, man? I don't... Okay, I'm just an L. Look at all those L's. Look at all of them. Like, why are you trading in games that are just the disc? What happened to some of you out there? Why? And not only that, but like, GameStop, why don't you have placeholders that are better, more appealing than this? Like, no one wants to put these on a shelf. Like, what? I don't want people to come into my gaming room and see these on a shelf and go like, oh, so you have a warehouse in here, nice. And then the only complete in box or relatively respectable games are these three. If you're gonna send me just the disc, do not charge me complete in box price. It's that simple, man. I'm losing my patience now. I've done this for years. It's that simple. When I buy it from you, make it where it's the disc price. God, you guys can't help yourselves. You can't. If this was like $5 and I knew I was getting just the disc, or I'm just getting the case and the disc, like, make it where there are these options on your store page. Really? Am I asking for that much? You are GameStop. You stop there for only games and apparently Pokemon cards and shitty t-shirts. The least you could do is when I'm checking out from your website, you let the guy know. Let a kid know what I'm buying. Because as far as I know, when I'm buying things from your site, it is literally the game. I guess not. I felt good after all these years of just goofs and gas and, oh, GameStop, what the hell is this, dude? No, do better. This is terrible. This is awful, dude. All right, I've had enough, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you've had enough. You don't want to hear a guy complain any longer throughout your wonderful day, so I'm going to leave you to it. You let me know what you think of Daddy GameStop down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.